When I told my mother I was leaving the priesthood because I was gay, she cried for 3 years straight.
And my mother reacted, at first sort of taken aback.
She's like, it's just a phase, it's just a phase.
It was fine. My dad, being a police officer, a very masculine man, took it tough, didn't understand it.
I thought it would be this huge moment of rejection and like, oh my goodness, you know, I can't believe this. And they said, we knew. So they knew.
You know, I told my mum that I was going to watch yet another It Gets Better video, and she cried for 3 years straight. I have to say, it's difficult if you see the whole video to tell actually who the gay women and the gay men are at times. I'm so sick and tired of all this. I'm so tired of this idea that being gay means you live a life of living hell in Canada. Okay, if you're living in parts of Africa, I can imagine it must be very challenging. 1950s, 60s even, it could have been very difficult. There was a time when homosexuality was illegal. That was wrong. But today, you try being a kid at school who says they don't believe in same-sex marriage, and what happens to you, how the teacher will treat you and other kids will treat you. Try being someone like Rick Santorum, the politician, who very compassionately, gently says, I'm against same-sex marriage. The vicious attacks on him and his family that have gone on now for more than 5 years, the physical attacks, the filth spoken about him. We've got to just deal with this lie. This is a new video from the RCMP. Apparently it's officially sanctioned because you see the uniforms and the flag behind, so we will have to embrace this. Our guest from Campaign Life, my first challenge is to pronounce his wonderful name correctly, Matthew Wojciechowski.
Perfect.
It's not bad, is it?
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
You know, whenever we address issues like this, people say, oh, you hate gay people. For goodness sake. I mean, the number of gay people I work with, I don't hate anyone, particularly not gay people. But this is propaganda. And we've got to talk about the It Gets Better campaign and who initiated this and what sort of a person he is. It's a man called Dan Savage.
Dan Savage. He is an anti-Christian, homosexual activist that's been working for the gay lobby in the States for many years. His campaign, It Gets Better, it's one of their strongest campaigns to actively recruit and confuse young people.
Well, I don't know if they're recruiting anyone. I mean, I don't know if I agree with you on that. But what I do think is he's just a bully. I mean, the great irony of this, the man is an absolute bully. He spoke to a huge number of student reporters in a hall. You know about this story.
Yep, for sure.
And he's speaking to them. First of all, he describes the sex that he has with his partner, which was just banal and vulgar. And then he uses foul language and abuses and screams at kids there who are Christian. And when they leave, politely get up and leave, he again insults and abuses them again. And apparently this man is opposed to bullying.
Yeah, he's opposed to bullying, and he usually blames homosexual bullying. He blames it all on religion. I don't know how he was raised. I don't know what kind of family he came from.
He was raised a Catholic, I think.
Oh, it makes sense. But not only just bullying teenagers, but he's been name-calling politicians in very vulgar ways, very profane ways.
Well, let's be more explicit. I mentioned Rick Santorum. Yeah. He began this huge campaign to say, let's make the word Santorum on the internet, and forgive me if they're disturbed by this, to describe the mixture of excrement and semen that is a result of anal sex. And he put this on the internet, got all of his followers to keep on Googling it, so that now, and I'm sure people can do it as I'm speaking, look up Santorum. Now, this is a man with children. When Santorum said, can't we just debate these issues? Why do you have to be so... He told him to go to hell. He then blackmailed him and said, if you donate huge amounts of money to my causes, I'll take it off the internet. This is a man who says, if we really try hard, it gets better. He's a crass, aggressive, vicious bully.
There aren't any worse bullies than this guy. This guy is like the definition of what it means to be a bully, for sure. And he bullies everyone, especially the Judeo-Christian people in the States and Canada, those who believe in traditional marriage, those who believe that having a mom and a dad is better. He's been bullying them for his whole public life.
Yeah. And once again, it needs to be stressed here that anyone who is bullied for any reason, and the reason that most people are bullied at school has nothing to do with sexuality, it's because of their body image, usually because they're overweight.
Yeah.
Sexuality comes down about 10 or 11 on the list. But anyone who's bullied, the bullying has to stop. It's wrong to bully anyone, including to bully someone if they're gay. But these cops come forward with official sanction, it seems, to make out as though being gay is such a horrible thing at schools in Canada. And they may have had bad experiences, but generally, I don't believe them.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the video and I sympathize with them because it sucks to be bullied. I was bullied when I was in high school. High school's a very bad place.
Yeah.
But this isn't about bullying. This is the RCMP, which is a tax-funded organization in Canada, promoting this very insensitive campaign, promoting the gay agenda, some may call it. And it's very disturbing to see what they're doing.
We have to wonder how these officers would deal with, say, an evangelical Christian or a serious Roman Catholic or Orthodox Jew who was opposed to same-sex marriage. Would they treat them in a balanced and fair way? I'm just not sure. Speaking of bullying, I just want to segue into this subject because CBS led with this item, and the headline, it was quite staggering. Teens with lesbian mothers do better in school and are happier in life. So I read the article, because I mean, that's a conclusive headline. The study, which is very few people, was conducted by a radical lesbian researcher who lives with, married to, an even more radical lesbian filmmaker, and the results were published in the Journal of Homosexuality. In other words, it's a crock. I mean, it's just a very biased, tendentious report, but it's given headline news. Mark Regnerus, who's a highly respected, neutral, objective academic, did an extensive research on this subject, and the findings were quite disturbing. They were that gay men didn't do as well at raising children as man, woman parents, but way down was lesbian parents. The results were appallingly bad. He didn't suggest this, he just said these are the results. There was a concerted campaign to get him fired.
Yeah.
Who's the bully in all this? The man says, this is my sociological research, he's got a very good PhD, he's a respected academic, these are what my figures said, you draw your own conclusions, not for me, and they said, we're going to make sure you're fired. The university have eventually defended him, but who's the bully?
Who's the bully? And I think when you look at this whole It Gets Better campaign, I should start a new campaign, and we should start a new campaign. It doesn't get better if you believe in Judeo-Christian values. It won't get better if you believe in marriage between one man and one woman. It doesn't get better if, for those parents who are concerned that this kind of propaganda is infiltrating into their children's schools, it will not get better for these people.
It's all about human decency. Just treat people with respect. Don't obsess about their sexuality or color or anything else. Treat people decently the way you'd like to be treated. And that must apply to all people, including even gay activists.
For sure.
Great to have you on the show. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.